Hey everyone, SHO'NUFF, we're back again, it's that time. Well, today we have some interesting stuff going on. We are actually done with the chassis. It is done with the tubing. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you a walk around of it, and we're gonna go ahead and just kind of look at all the little components and kind of wrap up the chassis portion of this build. So, hope you enjoyed it so far, because I sure have. Yeah! Alrighty, so here she is. SHO'NUFF, she's all on the ground. She's all final welded up. Here we are right at the front half. We got our little slip tubes here. These help align the chassis with the front frame rails. They actually go up. Here we got the front bumper. And then, see those two big holes right there? That alignment peg actually goes in the front one of those. And then there's actually a nut up inside of the frame, and a bolt goes through there and locks that in nice and tight. And then we got ourselves a steering rack mount, front control arm mounts. These holes here all go up into the factory K-member bolt locations and tie that into the factory frame as well. Coming on back, we got our engine plate frame, and it also serves as sheet metal holder for sealing the tunnel off. Then we got the physical actual funny car cage here. This is the 25-1 portion. This is where we actually have to get certified so we can actually go 200 plus miles an hour and all that stuff we hope and wish and dream of doing. You got back window net mounts here. This pin just slides up in from the bottom side. Goes up. It's got a bend. It's got a little tab down here that actually helps keep it from twisting or rotating, so that way that bend actually keeps the shape of the window net the way we like it. Here we got the frameworks for the seats. These will still get a little bit of sheet metal that gets riveted onto them, and then from there we'll do a pour-in seat. Got one for the passenger side, so if we ever do any Rocky Mountain Race Week or any of those events where you have to do some physical driving and have a passenger, so we have the ability to do that as well. Driveshaft tube. We got ourselves a bracket here. This is actually for the staging brake. That's a bearing pivot point. That way we can hook a master cylinder up right here. And then he can pull that, and that'll apply brake pressure. That way we can use it for staging and launching and whatever we need to do. You know, Brent gets crazy, puts some street tires on here and decides to do some drifting. You know, he's a maniac. We all are. Back here we got the back half of the cage. We also got these little fancy things here. These little mounts right here, they will actually hold the cable for the parachutes, keep it all guided. It actually gets rid of the zip ties. It makes things kind of nice and just trick. Got those coming all the way back down the back. And this is the battery tray. We could fit 2 AGM 16 volt batteries here. We have the tie down points welded on both sides. Those take a 1/2 by 20 bolt, so we have plenty of bolt to hold those big heavy batteries in. Then back here we got our steel sheet metal welded into the back. That's kind of like a permanent back firewall to keep us kind of safe from the tires and stuff like that. We still will have aluminum tub skins that will come up from this set of tabs here. And that'll arc up over. And then we'll have flat plate that comes up that has an arch in it as well, mounted to here. which will come all the way back to our back tabs where the arch kind of comes back and dips in, and it'll rivet to these tabs here. We'll drill holes all when we start doing the sheet metal work there. Back here, this fun little piece, that's the factory rear bumper. I cut a bunch of it off, but I kept this portion because this is where it bolts to the body, and we kept that so the frame could hold the tail nice and steady. Coming back here, we got a little bit more firewall. That was some sheet metal work I got done yesterday. Coming right on back, we got our parachute stinger. Also back down in here, we got Shockmount tabs. We also have anti-roll bar tabs here. That'll help keep it all nice and straight and keep the body from rocking left to right or anything like that under high speeds, heavy wind conditions, whatever might cause kind of different stresses. So, got those tabs all in there. Back down here, that's the front pocket of the chassis for the wishbone. That helps keep the rear end straight and lined up. Got all our required gusseting, 3/4 inch 058 wall, chromoly, 4 inches in length minimum. Parachute release handle tab. Over here, this is the Ecu Mount Plate. The ECU will mount on the underside of it. Down in here, it'll be riveted up to the chassis. That's an aluminum panel. Right now we have it held on by those Cleco fasteners. Cleco fasteners are kind of like a removable rivet that you can take on and off. Helps keep stuff in line, and then when you're riveting you can pull one at a time, put a rivet in and move to the next hole and keep taking them out one by one. Makes things real nice, handy, keeps it all lined up so you don't have any shifting or anything like that. Then we can roll this bad boy over. Yeah, I just rolled the whole thing over with one arm and a foot, still holding the camera for you guys. I'm guesstimating this chassis right in about 400 pounds or less. I can't see it being any more than that. I mean, two of us can pick this up, and I'll tell you what, I'm not no bodybuilder. And I can pick it up, so it can't be too heavy. Here on the floor, we have all our required bars and bracing down in there. We also all have these fancy floor tabs that'll make it nice. We're putting in a whole flat aluminum floor, all riveted to the bottom. Help keep that arrow nice and smooth. Help us get those higher speeds. Yeah. Here we have some Zeus plates. Those are going to hold a pan that's going to be underneath the transmission. It'll kind of be like a drip pan. Also a flat panel to help make that arrow nicer on the bottom. Then up here we have another set of Zeus tabs for the belly pan for the engine. Also providing more flat surface on the underbody of the car as well.
When I say, who's the master? You say, SHO'NUFF.
Well, everyone, there's the chassis for SHO'NUFF. We're going to keep progress going, but the chromoly portion of this chapter is over. Kind of sad because I've had a lot of fun doing it. This is actually my first complete tube chassis that I've actually completed, and I'm quite proud of it. And I'm very excited to see it become a roller and start working on engine components like turbo manifold, boost pipe, wiring, all the control systems. That'll be another fun chapter that you guys have to look forward to. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this portion of the build, and we're going to just keep on plugging along. Talk to you later, guys.